So, Gary, with all the problems that Liverpool have got right now, was this a missed opportunity for Manchester United?
Look, I've thought about it long and hard since yesterday, and I've seen a lot of people obviously comment and analyse the game, and it's been said that. But I think it would be a little bit of hindsight punditry. And the reason I say that is, and I've been there myself, is that when you look at before the game, what I said, I thought Liverpool would come out like animals. I thought that they would potentially reassert themselves. There was a danger that could make a real statement, a little bit like City did against United in the League Cup a week or two ago, and that will have played on United's minds. Jamie, Graham were all expecting a ferocious Liverpool performance, 9 days off, loads of preparation. And there's a little bit of, not worry from United fans, but excitement, but a little bit, could this be a point whereby Liverpool could reassert themselves? And the best analogy that I could give, it was almost like that Manchester United had prepared, and he's been laughing at me all day for this, but it's the only way I can describe it, is they'd prepared for the toughest hole on the course, the long par 4, the one that you take a par on all day. They've played it, and as they've played it, they've walked off to the next tee and they've looked back and thought, if I'd just gone for that second shot and been a bit more bolder into the green, I might have got a birdie, and maybe I should have done it. But that's only after the hole is finished.
But you get the team news. You're standing on the tee, you get the team news, and it's a temporary green. It's moved 50 yards closer.
There's no wind.
I think I get what you're saying, because there's a point in the game yesterday where I said if this wasn't Liverpool, this wasn't Anfield, Manchester United would be a lot more positive. But I genuinely believe, Dave, this team is not ready. It's not right yet to be able to adapt its mind from 7 or 8 weeks ago, where its manager was reportedly on the brink of under pressure, some said maybe getting the sack, to 7 weeks later thinking, right, we're title winners within a game, we're coming to Anfield, our toughest away game, and they're a bit weaker, they're not playing that well, all of a sudden let's just go for it. I don't think they're ready, because the best teams, the champion teams, are able to do that. They're able to step up. This team is not a champion team. I don't think any Manchester United fan or any pundit or analyst thinks that Manchester United are going to win the league this year. They've got a chance, but they don't think they're going to do it. When they're ready, they will do that. I understand where that team was yesterday and where Ollie was in terms of his management of the game.
Do you accept that?
No. I don't agree with any of that. I agree with the fact...
None of it?
None of it, no.
Thanks.
Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs in the world, a player who won everything at that club. You think of the mentality of Manchester United, and you're talking about the mentality of this team, and they're not a champion team. You don't have to be a champion team to smell something in a game. And you're talking about, it's OK, me coming on now and being a pundit with hindsight. Every pundit does that. You do that. We all do that. You have an idea how a game will be, and then when the game's happened, you give it a different opinion at the end of it. So what I'm trying to say is, Liverpool, we all felt, would come flying off the blocks. They did. Completely dominated Manchester United for the first half an hour. Then Man United started having a few counter-attacks. Manchester United maybe even sensing Liverpool are running out of ideas even when they get to the edge of the box. Not creating nothing at all in the first half. No real big chance. Maybe Firmino had one. A couple of efforts outside the box. But when you talk about them not being a champion team, so you go into that game and tactically you've set up. You maybe expect Matip to play. You maybe expect Henderson in midfield. 2 midfield players at the back, Shaqiri in midfield. You've weathered that first half an hour. You're talking about them not being a champion team. They've got Pogba, you're one to watch. World Cup winner. Fernandes, who's won, 4 Player of the Month awards. What I couldn't believe in the second half, and to be honest, I was disappointed Liverpool never won the game. But the more I thought about it, it was actually, where was the actual... There was no stage in that game where Manchester United showed any authority. Manchester United should have won the game. They had the best chances, and if you do that, it's an Ollie masterclass, counter-attack. But for the team Liverpool had on that pitch, Manchester United never had a spell of possession in Liverpool's final third, putting them under pressure, sustaining attacks. The same against Manchester United, Manchester City game, you said a couple of weeks ago. So you're talking like Manchester United are a small team. I likened it today when we were talking to an Everton mentality. And what I mean by that is, when I was a kid going to Anfield as an Everton fan, oh my God, if you got a draw, it was the biggest thing in the world. This is a season like no other. There's no crowd there, baying for blood. I've just mentioned 5 players in midfield. The midfield never played together. Henderson, Fabinho, midfield players. The front 3 not firing. And you talk about Manchester United not being ready for a title. This is an unprecedented season. City and Liverpool are miles off where they normally are. They may get back to that next season. So this might be one of the best chances Manchester United have. That might be one of the best chances United have for a few years to win at Anfield. The game is there. It's about top midfield players. They never once, I thought, showed that authority. The Man United. And, I mean, as I said, I disagree with, completely what he said.
I mean, I think it's a ludicrous analysis of how Manchester United's history has been at Liverpool. In the height of Manchester United's superiority, when they were a brilliant team with unbelievable midfield players, winning championship after championship, and they had form beyond Cavani and Carragher at centre-back, I can never think of once that we went there, and Sir Alex Ferguson will probably ring me tomorrow if he's watching and say, you're absolutely talking rubbish. I can never think of once where we went to Anfield and we were able to dominate the ball, show authority. We were back up against it for the first hour of every single match ever played there. And even at 1-0 up with 25 minutes to go, you couldn't go for it. It was impossible to go for it. Never once. Only Louis van Gaal a few seasons ago did I see Manchester United ever dominate at Liverpool. I thought, whoa, that's a performance. Every other year that I've watched us at that ground, I've always seen us struggle to the last minute. So yesterday, with 20 minutes to go, I was thinking, what are you going to do, Ollie? Yeah, you can maybe put Greenwood on 10 minutes earlier. Fernandes could have played better. They got the two biggest chances in the game. That plan worked, other than the chances that were missed. The other thing I would say is that for Manchester United, if they'd have gone and put, say, Mata on or Van der Beek on and gone for it, what would have ended up happening is that front three for Liverpool were probably going to have won the game and they'd have lost. Liverpool's still a dangerous outfit, even though they weren't playing well. So to rewrite history and suggest that Manchester United can go to Liverpool and dominate midfield on the ball, Scholes and Keane couldn't do that at Anfield, playing against average players, let alone a top Liverpool team that have won the league and won Champions League. So I don't get that at all. To me, look, there's part of me at the end of the game.
You said in the game, in commentary, if this wasn't the name of Liverpool, if this wasn't at Anfield, Manchester United would play completely different. That statement alone shows the lack of mentality to take the ball.
But it was Anfield. It was Liverpool. You have to adjust.
It wasn't the Jurgen Klopp Liverpool of the last 3 years. There's no fans there. You're up against midfield players at the back.
Look, I've been critical of this Manchester United team a lot in this last 5-6 years. So I'm not going to sit here and defend them when I don't need to defend them. Yesterday, they were at Anfield playing against the top Liverpool team. They're establishing themselves at a place in the league where, to be fair, none of us ever thought they would be. I understood why it wasn't a bit gung-ho and going for it towards it, even though part of me in the game thought, if they were a bit further ahead in the development, if they're a bit further ahead in the journey and their experience, they'd have gone for it here. But they're not. 7 weeks ago, the manager was getting sacked, the players were getting booted out. Raiola was talking about Pogba. They were all over the place. They were getting kicked out of the Champions League.
What's this journey? You're talking like Man United at this small club.
Oh my God, was Jurgen Klopp
it's
not on a journey?
Manchester United keep telling us the biggest club in the world.